Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Thanks for joining us today.
Hi.
So we are going to be talking about art, and this is the first video in our series about how to explain to your family and friends, your loved ones, that you are a furry.
Right. And so many people have come to us and said that they got into the fandom because of the art. We thought this was the best one to start with.
If you are looking for ways to tell your family, then watch this video and see if there's something that might be meaningful to them.
Yes.
So,
ready to get started?
Let's do it.
Let's see. So there are visual, like websites there that we're going to show you in a little bit for visual arts. YouTube has great videos of the dancing and makers. Makers are I think a big part of the artistry. And the furry fandom, you have freedom of expression. You can be anything. You can be a character or a species that exists. You can combine and make hybrids. You can make up your own
Dutch angel dragons.
Right. And then for writers, there are stories behind the characters. There's all kinds of lore about different.
Creating the lore behind a new character or a hybrid,
and even developing the personality of your fursona. So I think the furry fandom in itself is just a very artistically based fandom.
Yes, in fact, I mean, we have been to a film festival. We were lucky enough to be asked to be judges of the film festival.
We were very judgy.
Which was great fun. But the artistry in creating these filmmakers made these works of art. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about some specific examples. So if you're an artist, something that's very common in the fandom is a ref sheet. And a ref sheet is really your fursona, which is your character on paper, what it would look like if you were to create it, if it existed.
So if you're trying to tell someone in your circle about the furry fandom, and you're choosing to do it through the art, you might want to, if you have a ref sheet, that's something to pull out. Like, look at this character I've developed. Right. Or you could go online and show characters that other people have developed. Just give them credit.
And so an important thing to note about this, if you're a budding artist, this is wonderful. This is the way you can learn and grow and stretch your creativity and create things for yourself or for other people. You can also commission this, which is a wonderful aspect of the community, that it really supports itself.
I was going to say, you get a chance to support each other within your community.
Yes, so we commissioned these from an artist. So we supported the community, and they supported us by creating the art that we wanted for our kids. Mm-hmm. My child has one as well. So this is a great avenue. A lot of people that do these are working their way through college. This helps support them. This helps pay their rent. So this is a really positive aspect of the fandom.
You get something beautiful, and you're supporting your fellow furry.
That's right. Here's another example. This is a badge. Now, this is just a very simple one that was created for my son. Actually, I did it, and it's from a base that was created for us. We go to conventions and we help kids make their own original badge if they can't afford to commission one, or if they're just getting started. So that's an example of what this is, and this is for my son. You see it's on a lanyard, so they can wear, and it's a form of self-expression. This is the character I choose to be.
Right. And so if you are explaining this, and your loved one, or if you would like to learn more about the art within the fandom, we're going to show you a few websites that you can go to. Now, keep in mind, there are pieces of art out there that are adult. They're not safe for young furries. But thankfully, especially one of the websites, you can do content filters and go through whatever you want to see. If you want to see adult art, go for it if you're over 18. If you are wanting to stay safe for young furries, make sure that you choose that.
And the same can be said for Twitter and a lot of the other social media sites. The people that have those accounts, if they have adult content on their account, will typically indicate so, and then you can mute them or not follow them, and you don't have those things on your feed.
Most Twitter accounts that we've run into, they say 80 for after dark, NSFW, or 18 plus. Go look at our Beware terms and you'll know a little bit more about online language, so you know a little bit more what to look for.
And reach out to us if you have questions.
Absolutely. I don't know if you've heard of Amino, but Amino apps, there are several kinds, but Furry Amino is one place that you can find tons of artwork. So definitely that's a place to look for, or to show other people. I guess we're trying to make this for those of you showing your circle, and also if any of you are researching for the people you love that have come to you because they are furry and you want to know more about it, we want you to know too.
Yes, you should definitely be aware of the resources out there and why it's good. I mean, if my child is learning to be an artist, this is a wonderful thing to be a part of. In fact, my child sews.
Right.
So one of the things that he has created is he makes collars. It's not about bondage or anything inappropriate.
It's just a collar.
Animals wear collars typically, and he makes these adorable collars. Like this one has a little princess crown, and it's fur-lined for comfort, and it's not freaky. It's an expression of what he can do.
Actually, our kids wear them to school, and
sometimes wrist cuffs.
Yeah, wrist cuffs.
And they feel empowered.
They do. They feel strong, and nobody cares because it's not sexual, it's not adult, it's just a collar. I have a creative writer, so they love the story aspect, the fantasy building, world building aspects.
The lore. Yes.
But also loves the fur. Yes. So anyway, okay, so this is Furry Amino, and we're going to put links to these in our description.
Yes.
Really, we are. I forget sometimes, but we are this time for us. And then Fur Affinity. Fur Affinity has a, you're able to, look at me, I'm on consent to use cookies, if I can get over there. Anyway, if you create your account, when you do your search, you can actually do filtering for whatever you're looking for. And there's just art everywhere. Reddit, you know, I didn't pull up Reddit, but you can go to Furry Reddit. And
Reddit is a great resource as well.
Right.
I mean, there's Furry Facebook, if that's more your scene. Whatever it is that you're comfortable with. There's WikiFur.
Deviant art is a big, I mean, that's for all artists.
Don't let the name fool you.
No, it's just art. Those are the visual arts. What we'd really like you to get into is YouTube videos of the dances.
Dancing is, I mean, that's amazing artistry. The choreography, being able to move in these big costumes that are bulky, and
it's so cool to watch them. I mean, YouTube is great. Or videos are great, but in person, it's so cool.
It's very impressive, and I've actually watched some videos that talk about how to choreograph dancing in suit, because your movements, for instance, have to be very exaggerated because you're bulky, so, and it has to be very sharp so that your movements look good. So there's so much more behind it than you even think about. Definitely check out YouTube. Another great resource that I want to recommend is a website called mofurries.com.
Yeah, let me pull that one up.
So what we have on our website is information of how to contact us. Okay, there's a glossary, so if you want to look up a term, you can do that. Start there. If the term that you're looking for isn't in our glossary, then reach out to us, because maybe it should be. And
that's a great point.
Yeah, and we can try and get an answer for you. Or if you are a furry out there and you check out our glossary and think we're missing something that's important, let us know. We have an events page, so we try to keep that updated to the best of our ability with conventions, so that if you are interested in going to a convention with your loved one, you can look for those that might be nearer to you.
Some really super great people in the world that put together a whole database on Tumblr. If you just Google Tumblr Makers Database, then you'll have this. And it tells you so many things about the suits and makers, how to choose a maker. It's a really, really strong resource when you want to look at that kind of art.
There are bands. We didn't talk about like Fox and Peppers. And
the music.
Yes, creating music, bands. All kinds of great
art. I mean, what art? There are books. There are the photography. There's some amazing,
beautiful photography. Dance mobs, which are super cool.
So let's go through visual arts. There's musical, dancing, photography, filmmaking, story building.
suit making.
Suit making.
Even kigus, that like onesie pajamas, that really union suits. Makeup, because
Blue and Dami both do some great makeup tutorials.
And some people, they do their head, and then there's open eye spots, so they do makeup on their eyes so that they have.
Captain does that and puts
Captain
in
Boots.
Captain Boots puts in contacts to add to the entire look, and it's gorgeous.
Yes. So there's so many different avenues of creating, expressing yourself with your art that are clean, appropriate, safe, not weird whatsoever. So we hope that we've just helped share some of the beautiful avenues and aspects of the furry fandom that are completely okay and wonderful to be a part of.
Right. We hope this helps.
Any questions, please drop them in the comments or send us a message. If this has been helpful to you, please consider liking our video, subscribe to us if you don't already, share us to people you think could benefit from knowing the information that we share.
All right, guys. How do you tell them you're a furry?
Now, we realize you could simply say, as many people have said, I'm a furry. And just drop the mic and go.
Yeah.
You totally can. And depending on your family, that may be all they need.
Right.
But you may need to dive a little deeper.
Which really takes us to our first point. The very first thing you need to do is figure out why you want to tell your parents or your family or your friends. What is your reason? Are you a kid? Are you a young furry and you need parental consent to go to cons, or do you want,
buy a suit?
To buy a suit, right?
Are you simply sharing your interest? Your motivation will often lead you down the path of how and what you need to share.
Maybe you just want to be able to be open and not have to put your furry stuff away when people come over.
Or monitor what you're saying. You want to have your conversations and have your friends and have things up on your computer monitor when they walk in
and not have to worry about it, right? Some people say you don't need to tell anybody anything, and to some degree that's true. But a lot of people hope to. It is our number one, without a doubt, without a close second question. How do I tell people, my family, my friends, my parents that I'm furry? And should I? Right.
And although we can't tell you, we don't know your situation, our viewpoint is, if you can, we think you should share who you are with your people. Definitely. So when you go to have the conversation, you should definitely
set realistic expectations. That's our second tip. You may end up with a mama furries. Ask our kids.
Or you may have someone, I happen to have one of my children is not comfortable with furries. He's not comfortable with anthropomorphic animals. He's not against them. They make him feel uncomfortable. And I respect that the same way people find comfort in anthropomorphic animals. Sometimes people will not. So my expectation is that he's never going to embrace it the way the rest of us have. But with our conversations, he is more respectful that I have that interest. And so maybe that is your realistic expectation. They may never get it, they may never embrace it, but they can come to respect your interest.
Or at least understand your interest in it. Well, and we often encourage people to, give especially when we're talking about parents, because I feel like parents are the ones that get the backlash a little bit because you want them to accept what you're doing so much. When they don't, it's very easy to become defensive. But what we recommend is just respectful persistence. Always be respectful. There's no reason not to have a respectful conversation.
And know that your parents' concern comes wholly out of love.
And that kind of leads us to the next. So when you're being respectfully persistent, I think we've decided the best way to approach the subject is to try to find a common interest, which is why we're doing the series. Right?
Which is a great salesman's technique.
It is.
Find establish a common interest. If you have that commonality, then you already are having a positive conversation.
And so what we've done, we've had our kids help out for this video. We have a couple little clips to show you just as an example of how maybe you could approach the subject.
Some videos, mysterious mom who's, I don't know, here, look, video.
Oh. That looks fun. Do they do like weird adult stuff?
Does that look like weird adult stuff?
No, there are kids in the video.
It looks like they're just dancing.
That's cool. Yeah, I like it. I like that suit.
We should go see that at a FurCon. There's one in like January.
What?
Yeah.
Nearby?
Close enough.
All right. Let me talk to Joelle and maybe we can go as a group.
Cool.
Cool. So this was my son. Pretty much how it went down. I asked him if he would be willing to do a recording of, you know, telling me that he was interested in the fandom, and he said, well, I really didn't. I showed you some dance clip videos. So this conversation is very much the way it happened.
Yeah, and then you did come to me and said, let's just go to this con and check it out.
Yeah, and for us it really was that easy, but we realized that not every conversation will go that way.
No, so let's look at the next clip, which is my youngest middle, approaching me from a great perspective. So let's go to it.
So, hey Mom.
Yeah.
Do you know about how Zoe does art?
Zoe? Yeah, I love her art.
I know, it's great. She had an art show recently, and it was
Cool.
all furry inspired.
It was inspired by what?
Furries? Do you know what those are?
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, Mom, it's not like that. It's actually really cool, and Brittany's very supportive of that.
Really? So Zoeys Mom knows that?
Yeah,
that
definitely.
She likes that kind of stuff?
Actually, that's kind of how Zoe and I started hanging out. I saw her drawing one time. It was like a wolf, an anthropomorphic wolf. And I started asking her about it, and then we both found out that we were both furries.
So you're a furry?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a really creative community.
All right. Okay. So Brittany's cool with it. I think maybe I'll talk to her about it and find out a little more. And I know that you guys have probably seen where we've supported at Zoe's Creatures on Twitter. That is really her friend. And she is a young furry and she is an artist. And I love all of her art. But that was a great way to approach it. Like, you know Zoe's mom, you respect her as a parent, and she's cool with it. So she gave me a resource, another parent to reach out to.
Yes, and I thought what was great that she was very conversational, she was casual, she was just laying out the facts, but she wasn't confrontational. So I think that her style was just beautiful. It was a great conversation. And I think that both of these videos show that you don't have to, like, okay, we're going to have to sit down and have a family meeting. It can be in the car on the way home from school. Or, you know, just popping into your kid's bedroom to say, hey, how was your day?
Right. And then you just say, hey, here's this. Now, the last clip that we're going to show you is going to be at my older middle. You guys know Takani, showing us their artwork.
So, Mom, I've been meaning to tell you for a while. I know what you think about furries, okay? But that's not what it is.
Okay. What do you mean?
Well, I enjoy attributing human characteristics to animals. I read Warriors, right?
Oh, yeah. You were so into that series.
Yeah. This is like the same thing.
Okay. Well, I know that you draw a lot of that kind of thing.
See? This is my persona.
Your what?
She's a character that represents me, but as an anthropomorphic animal.
Hey, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it really is. I can make myself look however I want. One day I hope to get a fursuit, and then I can go frolic around and be a giant animal person.
That's kind of, okay, that's interesting. Maybe we should talk a little more about it.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Well, thanks.
So in this first video, we're talking about art, but really we're talking about how you bring up these conversations. Our next videos will be about entertainment and and going to conventions and things like that, which will be the next level of bringing this up to your family. You know, for us, it was a starting point, but it may not be for you. We have our friend Halcyon. He brought it up to his family because his motivation was to get a suit, so he had to immediately jump into that. So really, again, going back to what Joelle said at the very start of the video, your motivation will really drive what you say and how much you say.
Right. All right, guys. Well, good luck, and we hope to get our next video out soon.